Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to KM Fuse Off the Cuff with another episode of Workplace Conversations. So there's this hype, the most current hype in the country and maybe worldwide about the Gen Zs and what are the Gen Zs, what is their lifestyles, what do they like, what don't they like. And my colleague insists that Gen Z, the last Gen Z is 27 years, although I tend to differ. But apparently Gen Zs were born from the year 1997 to the year 2012. And therefore, today on set, we want to discuss this issue of Gen Zs at the workplace. And to help us discuss the topic today, we have the beautiful Eva and kama kawaida, Pauline. So to start off, maybe let me give each a chance to say something. Eva?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here once more to have this lovely discussion. It's timely, bearing in mind what has been happening in our country, the force to reckon with of the Gen Zs. What are their needs? Who are they? Are they relatable? Are they employable? How do they behave within the workplaces, within our homes, and within our communities? So it's a pleasure to have this conversation today. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Pauline?
Hi everyone. My name is Pauline, as usual. I'm actually very happy to be here because I would say the Gen Z topic at the workplace is one that I think we need to look at it in all angles. We need to hear different views, different ideas on the same, considering that these Gen Zs actually our children. Me as a millennial.
Aisha, not a Generation X.
Shut your mouth. Gen Zs are actually our children, our little brothers and sisters. So we may not afford to demonize, your vibe yao. Yeah, I'm looking forward for this discussion. Thank you, Roslyn.
So ladies, let's be sincere. Before the finance bill and the demonstration, did you really know of Gen Zs and their impact and just everything about the Gen Zs before the finance bill demos?
Yes.
Tusemezana ukweli.
No, for me,
okay, we knew Gen Zs were there, but did you know that they have such an impact? Because they have been labeled all sorts of names before the finance bill, that they are lazy, they are demanding, they are entitled, all those things. But now the other view of them that we saw in the finance bill.
For me, even when the Gen Zs were on the streets, most of my friends were telling me, Eva, you used to say these things. Because for me, I'm not very judgmental. I look at situations and I analyze. And I used to tell my friends and my family members, the Gen Zs are they have the courage, they were daring, and I loved that they were very innovative, trying out different things. For us, we didn't have that space. We followed what was already set. So I think for me, for the past, and having worked also with the Gen Zs within the workplaces I have worked, I have had to learn and relearn, and adjust and realize that these people are brought up in a different context, so their world is totally different.
Actually, I love the innovative part of the Gen Zs because just do a survey or a study, a company that employs Gen Zs kwa wingi, they have very innovative.
Yeah.
A good example of a company that is very innovative and has managed to be on the limelight for long is Safaricom, and it's because they invest in the young people, the
They
Gen Z.
incubate, they grab them immediately.
Yeah, because they are very innovative.
Yes.
And so they are always coming up with new products, and the lifeline of your company will be long if you invest in Gen Z. So Pauline, what are your views about this
I don't
before
know
the
why-
finance bill?
I don't know why the word lazy kind of ruffled me the wrong way, because it ruffled my feathers rather. So, you know, even looking at the demonstrations, for example, well, that is not laziness.
It's a lot of planning
That
and
is
work.
a lot of planning, you know, a lot of work and resilience, you know.
It's not like they were like, enough is enough. Tumechoka, let's go out.
You know,
Like,
sometimes
there was a motivating factor.
No, unaweza sema umechoka but again you're not. Hiyo ni shida kwanza ya millennials. Unaweza kuwa umechoka but you
Go
know,
to work.
like to really collect yourself and go, you know, put up
Kujituma,
a protest ama ujitume.
And then they don't fear the police. They were facing the police. You remember that girl that was saying,
Shoot me.
shoot me, shoot me.
Okay, now that is the other side, eh? You know.
The daring.
That is the
The
daring.
daring side.
But also, it's been said that millennials, Gen X,
Baby
we went
boomers.
to work. We started working tukiwa clueless.
I know.
Yeah. We went to the workspace clueless, like completely. We didn't know what a good number actually. We didn't know what we wanted.
Yeah.
And you know that again also starts from home. If we are millennials, our parents are
Baby boomers.
Baby boomers.
baby boomers and Gen X. Yeah. So you'll find that my dad decides my daughter is good in this. So this is the course.
Me, you know,
Even
I
in
want
your career.
Let
This is the
me
course you
interject. You know, I wanted to be a news anchor growing up, but I don't know why my dad just saw a chef in me cooking. Daddy, I love you, may you continue raising in peace. But why did he just see that I can be a cook?
Was it a chef or a cook by then?
A cook.
It was a cook.
You
in
guys,
the kitchen.
you were wired. You want to trigger me. You don't know what my dad chose for me. I need to do another show. Then I'm doing what my dad chose for me. Where
Tell
were
us,
we?
tell us,
Before
tell
you
us.
triggered me, where?
And on the same thought, for us the millennials, our life was scripted. We had like a manual. You were born, you go to school, you go to church
You
or
are told.
religious, you finish, you get a job, you get married. It was such
Like a routine.
yes, a routine such that
schedule.
after you finish college, if you don't get a job, you're like off curve. If you get a job, you're not married, you're like, why aren't you married? If you get married, you don't have a child, why aren't you having children? But for Gen Z, for them, they may decide even at Form 2, I want to do homeschooling. I am no longer interested in this school. I do not want to be a doctor. I want to, there is a lot of leeway and a lot of platforms for them to just be many things. A friend of mine was telling me the daughter in Form 2 said, I'm tired with school, I need a break.
Even me, my son
And,
keeps telling
a
me
break.
that.
and yeah, she needed a and she needed a break, and they had a conversation, and because she was good in makeup, she started going to one of the media houses to do makeup for
To have the break.
yes,
While
and
doing
now
makeup.
she actually went back to school, paying her own school fee because she earned even more than the mother was earning. So I think for us, the Gen Z have had parents who were flexible in terms of accommodating and in terms of being able to, you know, handhold them to be able to do even things that were not accepted in the community.
Okay,
Now
let's,
that you've decided to trigger me further, I remember there you're saying having a life which is scripted. I remember after high school, there is what my dad expected me to have, and apparently it didn't happen. So ilikuwa all over the place, And my mom on this other side, anaisabu miezi. My daughter has stayed here for 4 months. Anangalia 5 months, 6 months. Then she started having those talks. Pauline, so you just go to teachers training college. And
But everybody used to be a teacher or a nurse.
like you really
village.
stayed here. But you know, okay, looking back, I know she was worried about so many things. My dad on the other side,
You'll get pregnant.
You'll be married in the village.
exactly. My dad on the other side, I think he had believed, hey, this daughter of mine was aligned to this and this. So even the courses I was like, engaging him, I could apply this. Ilikuwa no, this one is like this one is like. So there was actually conflict. By the time I got to go to college, trust me, it was his choice. It was his choice, which was not my choice.
So what did you do? Yeah, I was.
That's another show. That's
was,
part 3 of it.
I was taken to.
Of course, you had to do it. It was a financial.
I was taken to a cooking school. Along the way, I got bored. I just dropped.
And then you love cooking, Roslyn. Are you sure you?
Maybe the interest came
By
later. But
Then you see by then the title of a cook. And actually for me, even when I tell people that some chef even earn up to $1 million.
yeah, they do.
They are like, huh?
Yeah,
What?
they
As
do.
in, this is not
The
information
five-star
in the
hotels, they do.
people think a cook in the village hotel where you're getting 5,000 is what a cook. So, like for me, I wanted to do food science, and I was really into food. But
It was called?
my village was like a cook, kitchen. As in, you're from here cooking with
Pishi.
firewood. So at least with a graduate, you go cook with charcoal. But it is the same.
Then they just saw the
Pishi.
cook.
But food, I remember that food technology thing.
Yes.
It was more of the industrial.
Nutrition.
So no.
See, nutrition. The
It
aspect
had
of
different
nutrition.
components. It had different components, understanding food, generally the nutrition, but also how to prepare good meals. Yes.
I think I also had to apply for that course at some point. You know, my dad.
So, ladies, let's not get
Applies.
ahead of ourselves. Now, there's something I want to. Okay, you have already done it, but let's do it some more. I want us to like iron out the differences between now the millennials, because the millennials are the group that are coming before the Gen Zs. Like the distinct differences between the millennials and the Gen Zs in regards to the workspace.
So we are in agreement. We are in agreement that the oldest Gen Z is 27 years.
No, we are not.
We are also in agreement that you are not a millennial.
But there
I
exists,
am a millennial.
there
I am a Gen Z.
there exist the differences. Even someone on Facebook the other day said, "Ati Gen Z mnasema mmejionea. You should have just been a millennial to know what the world looked like. As in, you're beaten
actually.
for crying, beaten for not
Being
crying.
raised up with an African mother.
And beaten again after everything.
Yes.
Kuzindikishwa.
Yeah.
Thank
If
you.
you're beaten, you cry. You're showing your parent like you're not guilty.
Yeah.
If you're beaten, you don't cry. You're showing like umekuwa kichwa ngumu. So you didn't know where to. So there was a lot of confusion within the bringing up of millennials, and I think also our parents, to some great length, experienced a lot of trauma, their own trauma, that they were unable to detach. You'd ask a parent like you needed something, and they were like, already you're given a slap, but the slap is to deter you from asking.
A hot slap. You sisters.
But in real sense, the mother is wondering, even food I don't have. Why are you asking for a book? I remember I would even produce the too small to pencil.
Yeah.
You know, up to the last
Rubbers.
drop.
That was my mom.
So that you could get.
or the long pencil is cut into half, so that if you lose the first one, at least there's the other part.
There was
is
not
out.
even space for losing. I remember
how
one
you
time
do
I
that,
lost the spoon that you carried food with to school. The spoon to eat during lunch break was the same one used at home. So one day I lost my spoon.
Are you sure umeifanya hivi pia? Ndio
I can
itoshe.
only imagine.
So in the evening when I came, my mother served soup.
Jeez, how do you take soup without a spoon?
And to punish you, you had to take it hot.
With your fingers.
So that you can never lose As in the way of millennials, the way we were reprimanded was
Pain.
It was, what would I say? It was
I guess we were raised by terrorists.
I would say that, but for the Gen Z, I think even if you're a terrorist parent, you can't handle terrorize them
because they'll commit suicide.
Not even that, they will even tell you on your face, and they will challenge. Yeah,
my son tells me sometimes, "Mom, you are too much," and I'm like, "Really?
Yeah,
you can dare tell me I'm too much?"
No, the other day my son told me, "Mom, instead of attacking me,
attacking."
Mom, I feel like you're attacking me because actually the story, I don't know whether it's proper to say, but the story was he wanted a certain phone. Yeah, I'm telling him now, you see me, I'm only able to give this amount. So he's telling me, what if we do this in 6 months? Like the pocket money, I can be saving as you also try to save so that we achieve this goal. It was some iPhone. So me, I am lecturing him. You have to live within your means. You can't just be wanting everything that everybody is wanting. And he was like, Mom, you're just attacking me. You're not even considering this plan. Wow. I have a phone I can use right now. But I want to buy this particular phone. But also I see we can hack it in like 6 months. So at that point,
iPhone.
Eh?
An iPhone.
Yes. So unasikia ile ameipanga even in 6 months.
Na wewe usikizi the plan.
I'm telling him, no, you have to live within your means. You stop wanting what others have. That's what makes people steal, you know. So, Mommy, you're attacking me. And you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. My 9-year-old says, Mom, stop shouting. I'm not deaf.
Yeah, even my son tells me
I can hear you. So, and for that moment, I breathe in. I'm like, okay. I cannot, there is no way I'm going to shout.
Yeah, but then at that point, what do you do?
Yeah.
So raising a Gen Z gives you character development by default.
I think they are more aware of the environment. Actually they know a lot of, they have a lot of information. Even on child rights, what is right, what is wrong, you know, how sometimes they sound like they know how to parent. So you wonder, are they parenting themselves? Because if your child tells you stop shouting, it's like already an parent.
Because even
you're doing a lot of shouting.
Yeah, and for them, you're the same parent who also tells them to stop shouting. There was a day we went to the supermarket. We had a list of things to buy. So after we finished, I picked something that was not on the list. And my son said, you're not accountable. He said, we do a budget so that we don't, you live there, tell your mother that. So for our parents, they would not take that. Yes. But for us, you feel, yenyewe, for Gen Z, you cannot preach water and take wine. Yeah. As in, you must be on the same script.
But now, even during our time, how would you even gather yourself to start telling your mother?
There was no space, there was no room.
Death sentence.
There was no room.
You will not even...
Over the weekend, I had a conversation with my family, and it was just a random conversation. And I was telling them that beating children is violence against children.
And they know that, by the way.
Yes, they know. And for me, being in the space of programming for prevention of violence against children, and having been beaten senselessly to death.
Blue, black.
I do not advocate for, I do not even beat my children. I actually feel bad when someone beats a child. One, for me, I was beaten, and I got new ways of doing the same thing that I was beaten for.
Yes, there are many ways of killing a rat.
Yes, and that's what parents do not know. Beating is temporal. Even psychologists have proven. If you beat a child, you know, like in my house, what I do, I deny my children things wanapenda. I withdraw privileges. And even my son says, nichape tu tumalizane. As in, this is now too much. Yes.
Switching off the internet.
Yes, I will switch off the internet.
I'll take
I will switch off the TV. I'll take off the phone. I will not even cook what they love cooking, and they will be miserable. Nichape tu tumalizane. So for my brother and I were beaten senselessly. My mother would beat us today. Then after 2 days she's like, na hakuna kitu mmefanya. You know, she's actually missing beating us. So what we do with my brother would say, si tutachapwa tu. So I remember one incident that I don't know why it was wrong to cook mayai, eggs in our home.
For visitors.
Na mayai ni yetu. Kwanza me that thing of visitors, for visitors. So what we would do,
kuku inataga ama
yeah, ni kuku zetu. But mayai inapikwa authorization ya there has to be the director, tulikuwa tunaita my mom serikali. So serikali had to approve.
Naona kwa nini mko mnachapwa. You are the people who are even nicknaming teachers.
Yeah. Mi hata nilishainyoa mwalimu.
Hey, you are daring.
In another story for another day. So my mother, we would now go man the gate so as to see my mother coming, and my other siblings would be cooking eggs. You see, my mother knows, yeah, ametuchapa si atupiki mayai. But sisi, what have we done? We have just reinvented a different way of monitoring her movements and cooking. But for Gen Z, they will not do that. They will not hide and do. They will actually do it openly on your eyes. And you're like, ata uogopi. But for us, we would fear, do the same things, but behind the scenes. So our parents thought we were on track.
But that's what, I think that's what we still do. Even
So,
right now.
so the director is telling us that we are running out of time. So let's go to, like I was saying, I was told recently by one Gen Z that Gen Z is just a state of the mind. That's why, Eva, you are telling us that you feel like you fit in the Gen Z space. I also feel I fit in the Gen Z space because it's just an issue of the mind. And one difference that has come out elaborately with the Gen Z in the workplace is that they can barely, most of them would barely do the 8 to 5 work jobs that the millennials are accustomed to. Like, you wake up every day 8 to 5, like they get bored so quickly. It's like they have a very small, I don't know if it's the right word to use,
concentration span.
A small concentration span. So we won't keep them in an office from 8 to 5. They prefer, I don't know what you were saying, like they follow their dreams as compared to sitting in the office 8 to 5. So maybe what could you say about that?
They, you know, here it is what it's what it's being said, and then again observations hapa na pale.
Have you worked with them?
Yeah.
What's your observation on the same?
I would say they are most of them are very good at what they do, because they know this is what I want to do and they go for it. It's not like, see, the way I was saying we were so clueless. Kama vile sasa ulikuwa chief for some time, you know.
Don't remind me.
You know, they know, most of them at the workspace, they know what they want to do, and they are good at it, you know. So that concentration inategemea whether that particular piece of in our interest, you know,
the piece of work. But they applied for the job, so
no,
why should it not interest them?
Task, but you know,
their tasks.
For example, ile close ya any other duties, you know, that does not go very well with them because it is supposed to be defined. Yes, it's any other duties. Which one? For example, now in my work is administration, office admin. If you tell me to, for example, take a photo, design something, you know, they would want to be paid for that particular job because it's extra.
Oh.
You know, yes.
It's not part of the package.
No, it may not be. They don't look at it like that. That is what I have observed in so many. So they want to stick that which, and even in interviews, you realize you are a HR. The JD has to be on point. It has to be clear. You have to explain, easy tasks, zote umestipulate hapo. And they will ask questions to try and understand hiyo JD vile inasonga.
And then in terms of technology, they have embraced technology more than the millennials.
Yeah.
And they easily make their money using technology as compared to sitting in the office. I don't know how far that is true, Eva.
It's very true. And to add to what Pauline has said, actually for Gen Z, they are able to work. Some even are able to extend even up to 5. But my observation is the struggle is in the morning, because at night most of them watch. If you engage them, they tell you they were on Netflix, they were on TikTok. So they tend to have a slow morning. So one of the things that I had to unlearn, that even if it's a director's meeting at 8, they will not come. They will actually walk in at 10 and it is okay. So even my boss will tell me, si umwambie director ako. As in, for them it's not about the director. And the person will work even up to 7, 8.
So it's not a matter of the time you came, but the productivity.
Yes, productivity. And for them, it's not about the rule set in the organization. It's about what works for them. And I don't even think it's something they wake up and decide that I will be coming at 9. But you see, the trend is about, rarely will you get them in the office by 7:30, 8. Some of us had even meetings at 6:30.
But find me those 6:30 meetings.
But for them, they will have a longer night. That's why when they are working on technology, the writing jobs they're doing very well.
Yeah.
Because it's flexible.
It's flexible.
So flexibility is very key if you're working with Gen Zs, and give them space.
So they prefer flexi working hours.
Yes, and give them also space to thrive and to do different things. You know what happens within the workplace, and I'm also a victim of that, is where we say we've always done things this way. But they're telling us we can do this in this way and get better products.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, they are very innovative. Yes.
Bureaucracy.
They are very innovative, but they're also given backbench. The front page is the front seats. The decisions are given to the millennials and the managers, because also even in terms of positions within the organization, they start from very low levels. So the managers are the ones taking lead. But where I have worked and the young people have been given space to be able to give their voice, they've come up with very good innovations, better ways and easier ways of doing things, and very productive actually. But now just being able to understand and fit in their world, which you cannot tell them what Pauline is saying, you will work up to 10, because any other duty. What any other duty? If we agreed we are doing 40 hours, if I'm coming to Saturday, you facilitate my taxi, you give me lunch allowance. So the things really have to be very clear when you're working with Gen Zs. But for them, it's a group that requires mentorship, requires a lot of open accepting them for who they are, and accepting that they are not brought up the same way we were brought up. Times are different. The exposure in terms of technology, you give them a gadget, within no time they're able to operate, they're able to design different things, and that's where the world is going to.
And again, actually, this is a generation that has left us, asking us now. They have made us really start questioning, kwani how are we brought up? Like, kwani kuliendaje when we were growing up? Because you realize most of us...
I'll answer you. When we were growing up, there wasn't so much of social media.
Technology,
the internet, the
privileges.
Not even
you didn't go to group of school.
you wanted away of your children's rights. You took everything from your parent or to your parent.
Even getting a newspaper to read.
Newspaper.
Yeah, that is the difference.
Like me, where I grew up, I think my dad used to go to the town, on Friday. Sasa now he comes with the Friday nation. Okay? When guys are coming to
You are the
visit us,
middle class. The gated community problems.
Which ones?
See, what you have described, a newspaper on Friday.
So,
If he
ladies,
happens to go to town on Friday,
La Gazette.
so we'll be all over
I
it.
can't even remember a newspaper.
so ladies, there's another thing about Gen Zs, and when it comes to communication in the office, we were discussing earlier, and Pauline told me that there's one of your colleagues that sent the HR a resignation note via WhatsApp at 4:30 a.m.
Don't shout.
And then Eva, you are telling us that there's another one that resigned on TikTok. So their communication, their language, we saw that they communicate using those naitwaje, like P. Today I've learned POV means point of order. PVO. P, that one, point of order, what your daughter wrote.
I have actually, just say, I have stayed, maybe just explain. See, I gave my daughter my phone to use to send text about homework or something. So, see, the texts are still there on my phone. So I've been trying to figure out what is this conversation. Like, you know, it's shortened, it's short form. I'm just seeing clearly. I could not until today. That's when I learned about.
Because we've been with
Thank
Gen
you
Zs.
very much. No. There's something I've been trying to. I think for a month.
Per month, you are trying to wonder what is this.
So today,
clearly,
I have something just clicked. This is thank you very much.
yeah. So clearly, their language is
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
And then even their mode of communication, like somebody resigning on TikTok, is not a big deal to them.
There is that, the language they use, and also there is what they believe is proper, which may not even be proper. Like now, when you quit through a WhatsApp text, you see, to them, see, have communicated.
But they have communicated. People are impressing WhatsApp as a mode of, because even where I work, so we do a lot of court matters. So nowadays, actually, WhatsApp has been impressed as a proper channel of communication. You can be served orders, you can be served your pleadings on WhatsApp, and it is the court has had to
Accept that.
accept and impress it.
Where the world is moving to.
But now, for example, now, me and you, where we work, you know, I think some of this communication, that has to be very official.
Yeah, you still
Have to be
impress
written in a
emails,
certain way.
memos,
You know, like business English. I actually recently I came to understand.
the font,
Yeah,
the what.
there's a unit, people in administration and secretaries, there is a course they do on business English. And they insist letters have to be done in a certain way, which is okay.
The font.
And even when you're resigning again, you're supposed to do a letter in a certain way.
So them they
And you still continue going to work until the acceptance, you serve notice and all that. And that's why now, for the young people, that is too much for them. Yeah. Even if you induct them within the work environment, you need also to walk with them through and continuously remind them. Even etiquette. They may, where I worked, apparently, dress code was not, you know, you'd put on ragged, and I think that's why the young people also love the place.
We wanted to go to that, the dressing.
So in terms of communication, the young people, even non-verbally, they'll tell you, read my face, as in this is, I'm not coming. I will not tell you I'm not coming, but tell from this, what are you seeing? And they will go and they have communicated. So in terms of communication,
Actually, read my face. They'll study a video.
no, see,
Just like
you're
when
telling
you're talking,
them tomorrow is on Saturday. Please come.
The facial expression.
So they are wondering, why aren't you reading the cues? As in, you're still insisting, and they're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son, you talk to him, is just looking at you and wondering, woman, when are you leaving? As in, this discussion is
So like
over.
Them, they don't tambua these things of formal English, at proper English, and imagine they even write reports in slang.
Yeah, kathingi.
Yeah, they don't.
But again, some of them, I've also found that some of them are very good in that. like a millennial, you can struggle with your report there until you give a Gen Z at a panga, at a line, you know. Yeah.
For Gen Z, it's their interest. If they
Yeah.
have interest in something, they'll do it perfectly.
To perfection.
They have certain aspect of perfectionists, as in they're able to excel in very many things. But if they're not interested,
And then now there's now the aspect of dressing. You see, like the way as we have been socialized, like even in the code of ethics, there's a certain way we are supposed to dress coming to work. Like the way we have dressed here, it is very professional, modest. Considering it's on a Friday and I'm putting on a coat, this is just too much for me. I'm like, on Fridays I do t-shirts and jeans. But now you are there in the office and a Gen Z walks in on Monday in sweatpants and Crocs. They have come to work.
I saw a guy alikuwa anashika pussycat, like akona dreadlocks, but ameshika hivyo na amekam job.
They like,
it's not actually like a little girl.
Yeah.
It's a man.
I worked
Ameshika pussycat, and then the ragged, as you're saying, and very baggy. So
yeah, they love baggy clothes. I don't know why.
very,
Jeans,
and
you what?
that's on a Monday morning.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
So as
But
the
everything
HR,
else, it's okay.
as the HR, what will you do when if somebody walks in on a Monday in sweatpants and Crocs and we are supposed to observe professional ethics, or supposed to be in official?
I worked in a bank where you could not go without a full suit. You could not even put on a broken suit, as in, you know.
It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be complete, same material, same texture. So the day you didn't feel like working, you need that off day. You'd put on a broken suit. So from the entrance, the guard will tell you, madam, run.
Then you say, I came.
Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. So the young people that, by then, young people, there were days even like in a week you'd deliberately put on that. For the Gen Z, one of them asked me, what does my clothes has to do with my
working?
work? You know, as in,
it's only Kasmuel. Anaitwa Kasamuel ama Kasmuel. It's only Kasmuel who I see with suits.
with suits. By young people, I bought my son a suit during his confirmation. He said, "Yo singuo." He wants jeans and t-shirt. And you know, the father had said, lazima avae. He refused, he cried. He said, "Yo singuo." And
just
that
passing
today,
the
that
day.
suit, yes, he refused. And kwa sababu alivaa by force, when we came home, he told me, "Mom, ndio hii suit yako."
They even go to weddings with trousers nowadays. Like the bride is wearing a white trouser. They don't have time
Khaki, you know, those
for gowns.
I think for a long time also overthink.
See, unashona something in form of a gown, but it's a trouser.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Maybe I haven't been looking.
I think what the Gen Zs tell us often is we overthink, which is very true. If you look into, I have had the privilege of working with the white people. Even in offices, they're in jeans. They're easy. They're very easy to work with. For us, I think, you know, and I'm glad that even the banks now, people can put on, ladies can put on trouser suits, you know.
Oh, you have not worked with mawakili, advocates.
You don't wear trouser suits.
And probably that's why now Gen Z would not even choose a career of being an advocate, because the dress code is already too much for them.
Yeah, I think they overdo.
Yeah, so for Gen Z, it's what is the work that I need to do? It doesn't matter.
Is the dress that is working on my brains?
Yeah, we had,
it makes sense.
We had
me working on the dress.
We had an intern who came, whatever you've described, an intern for the first day. And I was like, this is a joke. But you know, this guy was the best. We actually...
You can't
we forgot about the hairdo, we forgot about many things, and we picked him because he was brilliant. But by the judging of how he was the hair kwanza, but this guy, and even during the internship, he did such a fantastic job.
Okay. So since we've run out of time, I want us to conclude. What do you think the workplace can do to embrace the Gen Zs? What can we do so that there isn't a gap, a visible gap between the Gen Zs, the millennials, and the Gen X? I always say XY, the Gen X. What do you think workplaces can do?
It appears ni kama sisi ndo tuko na shida.
It's us, not them.
From all the discussions that are going around, it's like sisi ndio tumejilimit pale. We do not want to look at things differently. You know, we're just so uptight. You know, kikuwa ni hivi.
So it is for us to renew our minds and embrace them.
I have been thinking about it now as it's being said. You know, you cannot just and something is being said. I think you also need to think about it, because at the workplace, basically, what we are there to do is to work. If someone is good at what they do, you know, and you realize most of these people are not even confrontational. I don't know whether
they are not. They are not.
They will come in, do their job, and
even those sweet gossip even those gossips za corridors, they'll not be part of it. So they're also doing away with a lot of bad culture. Organizations have, they have embraced.
Because you can find even kwa lounge, you're taking tea, you're so busy with your stories there. There are some who are just coming in with their cup of tea.
They love working with headphones.
Yeah, ama achukue chai yake arudi kwa desk yake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think my parting shot would be to Gen Zs are our children. We have brought them up. We have already seen their impact. What if they make up their mind, they can move things. They are they are educated, or they are schooled, they're exposed. They've had advantages that we didn't have, and we must be able to accept that. As a parent, I know many people say that there is no training for parenting, but currently we have positive parenting. For me, I'm a better parent because I have been trained how to parent. My mother wasn't. There was no room even for that. So we can parent them better, we can guide them better, give them the space to thrive, but also within the workplace put some considerations, and some of those policies within the workplace are so focused on other people other than the needs of the Gen Z. I think the policies should be able to be very accommodative. I know a workplace where young people could not date. No colleagues should not date. But where do people find their life partners? There. So with the Gen Zs coming on board, these are not things they will respect. So you'll have policies that are not working for people. And let's also give the Gen Zs the space on the table when we are making policies, decisions, because they are part of this organization. I have worked in places where Gen Zs have brought huge funding. They have been able to, just bring that vibe that things can be done differently and things can work. So it's just being accommodative, mentoring them, and being able to even have discussions and give them room to thrive and be who they are.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we agree. Like them, hate them, we cannot do without them.
They are here to stay.
They are like the oxygen we need.
Let me quickly say, as we finish, pale tu tulianzia, it is unlearning, especially for us. We can only talk about sisi. Like, I can only talk about me, being whatever I am, millennial or X, but it is unlearning and learning
and relearning
and also we also have a role, like in terms of mentorship. These are our children, these are our little ones. We still have that role ya kuwa mentor, and you mentor them by trying to understand them, trying to get into their world.
But we talk about them like they're not our children, like they're other people's,
I know.
As in they are strangers. And for me, that's why I keep on saying, these millennials, we are the siblings to these Gen Zs, as in they are ours. So we are not running away. And why we do that is because they challenge us. They challenge the status quo in a number of things that we are not ready. Hata sisi tuko na our parents' mentality to some extent.
But you know, now, right now, our parents are old. They have actually resigned to, But sasa as we have the biggest role.
Your parents, aren't your parents in their 60s?
They are. They are.
So they resigned to fate.
They're not
There is
old.
nothing much they can do to change you.
Oh, yeah.
But for you, you can do something to change the way you parent and the way you're doing things.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had the discussion. Gen Zs are a part of us. Let's impress them, let's love them, let's give them the mentorship they need, because from the look of things, they are here to stay. So until next time, bye-bye.